Cuphead has finally released, and it's a game I've been anticipating since 2014 when it was announced. If you remember, I had it on a list of my most anticipated games back in 2015, I think. But it has actually been in development since 2010. And I'm glad to say that all of that effort was worth the wait because the game is fantastic. The most immediate thing you'll notice about the game is the fact that it's in this 1930s cartoon style. It's very reminiscent of the old Disney Silly Symphony cartoons as well as a lot of the Fleischer cartoons. And to capture the feel of that old school animation, all of the sprites in this game were painstakingly hand-drawn. As a fan of classic 2D animation, this is something amazing to look at. The game's presentation is just top-notch, not only with the animation, but with everything else. It has this film filter that makes it really feel like a 1930s cartoon, as well as these very beautiful watercolor backgrounds and foregrounds. The game even opens up like a classic Disney cartoon where it has a book slowly open. Every single character design in this game feels like they'd be right at home in the 30s. Then there's the music in the game, which is this very frantic jazz style. The tracks in the game were recorded with live instruments to give it that more authentic feel, and it's just everything about this game feels like it's a 30s cartoon, and that's so amazing. As far as the game itself, actually playing it, it's incredibly challenging. It's a very basic run-and-gun style game similar to something like Contra. Unfortunately, I'm not very good at Contra, so I kinda sucked at this game to begin with. The game is difficult, but it's not unfair. With enough patience and persistence, you can persevere, learning the boss's attack patterns and knowing when you made a mistake. That way you can just hit retry and try again. You will probably die a lot if you're not really good at running guns. I myself died 331 times in this game. Yes, it actually keeps track of that. But every time you actually beat a boss, you feel so satisfied. And even though I had to play some stages over and over, I never got bored of them, because the animation is so fantastic to look at, and the soundtrack is absolutely great. I find myself humming a lot of the songs over the past few days. And with constantly playing the game, you will get better at it. While recording this footage for this review, I played through the first world in under an hour, whereas before it took me like 3 hours. The game consists of 3 different types of stages. The first type is just a regular boss, where you just have to defeat one. Then there is a plain boss, where you're in this side-scrolling shooter section. And then there's the platforming run-and-gun stages. There's a few of each type of stage for each world. And there are coins that you can get in the run-and-gun stages as well as the overworld, so you can upgrade your different weapons and also different abilities. There's a parrying system, so you can fill up your super meter so you can release a really devastating attack. And you can switch between 2 weapon types with each stage, and you can equip those before you play the stage. The game's mechanics are actually very simple, but they're very effective. It's very basic game design philosophy. It's very easy to learn, hard to master. And that just makes it that more satisfying when you actually get good at the game. Cuphead is just a perfect blend of presentation and game design. I definitely picked up on some of their influences like Contra and Gunstar Heroes, but as a whole, Cuphead is really its own thing. It's a game that I want to play again and again, and I want more games like it, and possibly a sequel or some kind of DLC or expansion or whatever, because I would love to see more of this game. Right now it's available on Xbox One and PC on Steam and GOG and Windows Live, so all of those platforms. But I'm hoping that eventually it'll also get released on other platforms like PS4 and Switch, because I want as many people as possible to play this game. It's really good. I haven't played such a finely tuned indie game since Shovel Knight. If you want to get this game on your PC and you're worried if your PC can handle it or not, Spawnwave Media actually did a video on Cuphead running on a very low-end PC, one without a graphics card. So if it can run on that, it can probably run on stuff that's 5 or more years old. So if you have played Cuphead, tell me down in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, by now we're getting a bit used to winter. We're like soldiers in the middle of a campaign, growing hardened to discomfort and better able to